Hey guys, welcome to today's video. I am going to try my hardest to get through this. You know, the adventures of Tati in springtime continue. I have been complaining more than I ever have, like in the 8 years of being here on YouTube. Like I never complained so much about being sick. And now I just feel the need to update you before we venture into concealing, dark circles, discolorations, things on our face, because we're talking about the best and the absolute worst concealers. I have so much to share with you guys, but I just want to let you guys know I'm feeling like so much better. But now what has happened is anyone else like experiencing the literal worst allergies ever of all time? Because here in California, I feel like I walked out into my backyard and was just like like smacked in my face with pollen. I opened up my window in my bedroom and I'm like, sunshine. And then I look down and I see like the yellow crap everywhere, and I go to my car and it's everywhere. And me, I have allergies and I'm just like, I sound like I've been smoking my whole life, or I sound very sexy. Anyway, oh my God, we are starting this video off in Tati style. You know, we're just talking about life. But I have to, because like you guys are my friends. So hey, how about a thumbs up for that? If you have not become a part of the family and you're not like a friend yet, then why don't you take a moment to do that? Hit the subscribe button, ring the bell for the best of luck and for your concealing dreams to come true. Ring that bell. We're gonna talk about everything that you need to know in terms of concealer, the best, the worst, all different price points, different formulations, wands, pots, everything. I got it in front of me, and it can be overwhelming if you go on Sephora, because I was doing my little like glasses on, iPad out, and I went to Sephora and I just typed in concealer. It was like 185 options. And I'm like I thought I had tried so many, and I'm like, I know there's no way that I have tried 185 concealers. You guys, let's just dive right in. There's one that we're not gonna stay on for a minute. Can we all say it together? That we know, that we love, that we trust, that does not crease. Most people that try this, that use it, that want to really flatten out, bake, glam, full coverage, conceal, Tarte Shape Tape, it gets the award for the do it all. It is my favorite. I love that one so much. You already know that, so we're not even gonna like spend a lot of time there. We're just gonna move right along. So I wanna start with a few formulas that I really love, that dry down really beautifully, that do not crease so long as you set it with a powder. And I wanna remind you guys, when you are setting your concealer, make sure that you pat out your creases before you add a powder on top. I watch people do this all of the time, where they will do the concealer and move on to something else and then go into the powder and do this, but the cream has already moved and settled in these fine lines. And if you've been talking, smiling, you know, chances are it's creasing already. You do not want to set a crease. So make sure you iron things out with your fingertip and then go in and pat. So my favorites for a wand application that are a little more up there in price would be CoverFX Power Play. This one is gonna be good if you don't have dry patches under the eye. Otherwise, this one can tend to grab just a teeny tiny bit, but I wanna bring this up because they have an excellent shade range. And this guy right here, I mean, hello. If you wanna do like serious drag makeup, you wanna do really intense brightening, you want to do a blend in with something that is a white pigment into other products, this is such a cool shade, and it's very opaque. It's literally just called white. But CoverFX is one of the brands that has always, and I mean always, before it was a hip thing to do, it's a shame to say this, but it's just the truth, giant shade ranges are great. And it is necessary. Hello, we're in 2019, like, come on. But it's almost this weird thing where it's like, should we be super applauding companies for like, look at this wild shade range. I have 55 colors of foundation. When on one hand, it's like, it should always have been like that. This shouldn't be like a marketing like thing, but it is. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it just is. And I guess I just like to give a shout out to companies who have been doing it from the very beginning and doing it well and doing it right. And to me, those two brands would be CoverFX and Makeup Forever. Those are just the two that stand out. I know there are more, but I just want to give like a healthy nod and be like, You're good. Like, you're so good. Thank you. You're so good for making everyone feel included. Smashbox, they have a new one that I really love. I'm actually wearing it today. And I think this is a gorgeous concealer. It is very similar to Tarte Shape Tape, but it has a thinner consistency and it's just a little fresher and maybe a little bit more on the natural side. This is called the Studio Skin Flawless 24-Hour Wear Concealer. It is a very long wear formula. I love the applicator. Oh my God, you're the cutest. It's not poofy. It just gets right up in that corner there, but it's flat enough to kind of drag down. And this is a very, very opaque formula. Look at that. Wow. So if you're looking for something new and you are like, I kind of want to be like a Tarte Shape Tape girl, but I don't really think I want that much coverage. I want it to be just like a little more controlled and a little bit thinner, but like the same benefits, then I think this would be what you would love so much. If you're like $24, who is she kidding? And you just want to spend $5, then go ahead and get e.l.f. This stuff is really so good. It's not 24-hour wear, but it is 16. I did a wear test on this. I'll link that video below. I don't know why I'm just like drawn to this because every time I use it, I have such a good flattened out crease-free experience and it really conceals like all of your dark moments. The original Bye Bye Under Eye is a waterproof concealer. You definitely want to set this. I feel like now I don't like the texture of it. It's very sticky, but I did used to really super love this. And I would even use it as eye primer and on the face. So this is not a bad one if you're someone that wants to use a pinpoint amount of product and you want that full coverage effect. If you don't mind it being just a little bit tacky, I think you would really, really enjoy this. Maybe you would like a dupe for the Bye Bye Under Eye. If you would, I would recommend this one right here. This is from Wet n Wild. This is the Come Correct Celebrity Concealer. Again, it's gonna have a similar way of dispensing the product where you just use just like the tiniest, littlest, bittiest bit amount and it will conceal the crap out of you. So from there, I want to chat about something that so many people love for the under eye area that I just have always felt does not set well with any powder that I use. Now, this is one of those moments where I watched on YouTube so many people rave about it and they're like, the Nars Creamy Concealer, the Nars Creamy Concealer, Nars Creamy Concealer. And like, I would hear friends be like, oh, have you tried the Nars? Like the same way that I talk about Shape Tape. And I grabbed the keys and I remember I went to Sephora and I was like, don't spend your money on all this makeup you don't need. And I literally felt like I went in there like with like blinders on. I was like, just get the concealer from Nars. Cause this was years and years and years ago. I was that person that would scrape it together to, you know, buy a product and just hope that it worked out. So $24 on a concealer was like a really, really big deal. Like that was a lot of money. And this ended up being just terribly disappointing. And I was just thinking like, it's gonna be the best. I'm gonna have the smoothest under eyes anyone has ever seen. And it just creased on me within like 10 minutes. Like I wasn't even finished with my makeup and I was like, well, that's disappointing. Like I don't like this at all. So this is one that if you just have that texture underneath your eyes that wants to really crease, it might be a little bit too hydrating and shiny and not set the way you would need it to set to be smooth and crease free. One that I do love that's similar to that wears for ages and hours and just until you say done is the Double Wear from Estee Lauder. It is like a lockdown favorite. I won't wear this all of the time though because I do feel like there are ingredients in here that dry out the under eye area, which is weird. But for event makeup, this is a beautiful long wear product and I do highly recommend it. This is the KKW and I just want to point it out because every single time that I go through my concealer drawer and I'm like, you gotta go, done with you, bye-bye, I got new things coming in, I will sit there and I'll pull this out, and even though I don't use this every single day, I have a hard time letting it go. I don't think I can. I actually travel with these. I keep the brightening powder upstairs in my bathroom. It's very full coverage, but it's not terribly thick. It does not settle, it does not move, and it sets really, really well. Just be mindful once again to smooth out those creases before you go in with a powder. Great shade range, really, really love it. If you're looking for concealing on the face, sometimes you want to be able to take a brush and, you know, fix a blemish, cover a spot that I didn't cover whatever. You might want something that packs a serious punch. My go-to is this, Dermacol. It says that it's a foundation. Don't use it for that. But this is a great full coverage. Like the way they show it online is like, look at this tattoo vanish, and it like literally will cover anything. Like it really does. It's a very strong pigmentation in here. Try to match it up to your skin and not a shade lighter. And that way you can mix it in. Like if you had a bad acne breakout, if you have melasma, if you have pigmentation issues, you can very easily have your foundation on a palette, squeeze a little bit of this and do your foundation, grab a little bit of the extra pigment and get the area that you're really trying to conceal. It really works well with others. So I want to really quickly also mention that I have been loving the Makeup Forever Ultra HD. I haven't been using this as much as I should. I really need to play with this more, but I am impressed of how crease-free it is. It says that you don't need to set it, but I think it looks so much prettier when you do. Like if you're just going for like the fresh face, no powder type of a thing, you can use a very thin coat of this wherever, and it really does not require a ton of powder on top of it. I like Stellar Beauty so much. Now this is something that I feel like my sisters would really be into. It's like Tarte Shape Tape consistency, but like if Tarte Shape Tape was a 10, this is maybe a 3. It is the baby version. It's not like no coverage, but it's not wham. You know, it's very user-friendly and it wears very nicely. It gives you a very fresh finish. It's not overly matte. It's not overly dewy. It's just this nice, brightening, beautiful concealer. This one is excellent. I don't like the Nars Creamy Concealer, but for the face, I do really like these. This is the Nars Soft Matte. Now I love to carve out my eyebrows with this if I'm going crazy with the brows. I really like this to carve right here because it brightens and blends so beautifully. But also this is fantastic as an eyeshadow primer and on the face. There's my husband. Let's see what he needs to conceal. Have you come to bring me another sandwich?
I did. I got you a sandwich.
You did not make me a sandwich. Who is she?
Her name is Tati. Love of my life. I'm leaving you for her.
I have split personality, so okay. So the Nars Soft Matte is so nice on the face. If you want to just conceal and have something not be shiny and you don't want to wear a lot of makeup, this is actually really great. If you want to go more pro, similar finish, and you're having a hard time matching and you need a more intense color variety, or you want that kind of finish, but you want to do contour and highlight, you can either go with RCMA or Dermacolor. I really like these. They're itty bitty. This is something you would purchase from a pro beauty supply online or like Namies here in LA, but this one is really great. Similar formulation, but one that I don't like is from BareMinerals. This is the Bare Pro. This is not it. It is too slippery. It tries to be matte, which makes it feel like it looks heavy. And I want skin, whether on me or I'm doing makeup on someone else, to look like skin, just like it's you. One that is more emollient and a little bit on the shiny side, but not bad, that is beautiful as far as ingredients are concerned, is called the Perfecting Concealer. This is by a brand called Hynt, and they make a ton of gorgeous products. They use a lot of jojoba oil. I don't think this one has any coconut in it, which is great. This has sunflower seed wax, castor seed oil, avocado oil, and I think this is a beautiful, beautiful concealer. Literally, you guys, like the reason I say it doesn't have coconut oil, it's a problem for me, not a problem for everyone. But if you suffer from your pores being clogged very quickly and easily, I would avoid coconut oil in your makeup products. One that I'm surprised that I want to like, and I keep trying to like, and I used to like, but I don't like. Wow, cool story. This is from Laura Mercier. This is the Secret Camouflage. This is the shade 1.5. This is specifically for under eye, and it does have ingredients that help the under eye area. This one is just one of those that I've seen it on other people and they love it, and like I think I get jealous and I want it to work on me and it just doesn't. It's not even that it creases so much, it's just if you don't blend it out perfectly and let it set into the skin perfectly, it can actually just create these little bunchy areas where it almost emphasizes dryness, which is kind of weird because it is more on the creamy side. but maybe that is just me. I'm not sure. I want to give a shout out to a couple of drugstore concealers that are really, really great. I know I talk about these a lot, so we'll be fast, but the Age Rewind from Maybelline is one of the best. If you like a little sponge on the top and you just want to and like blend that in fast and have things brightened up and have it be long wear and gorgeous and not heavy, this one is a home run. If you want a thicker coverage and you don't want to spend, you know, $30, this is really, really great from BH Cosmetics. This is the Total Cover Concealer, and it's very similar, again, to Bye Bye Under Eye, but a lot, I was gonna say looser. It's not as thick. You can use a little bit more, and it's very full coverage, but it's in between, I would say, like a thicker concealer like this right here, and something that you would apply with a wand. It's kind of like right in the middle. The texture is great, and I've always had a lot of success with this particular product. Okay, so this is the LA Girl Pro Conceal. And I think you can't go wrong with this. Even if you love higher end products, I think this is such a great one. I love the tip on here because it's like a lip gloss tip. Like you could really go so close up here if you want to get right around the nose. Really great, solid concealer. Does not sway too creamy or matte. It's just a nice neutral finish. I don't have in front of me, but I wanted to like talk crap about a few concealers that I've gotten rid of, just to like do like a quick little refresh. So for the worst concealers that I have really ever tried, that I just think are like a no hard pass, would be the Sisley Fido Eye Concealer. It's $107. It was one of the like OG WTFs that I did, and it's terrible and not worth the money. Just don't. If you want coverage under the eye, do not be fooled at the YSL counter when they try to sell you the Touche Claw. Now they just came out with a more full coverage Touche Claw, and I really want to try it out. I'm very curious about the full coverage situation, if it is more full coverage, because Touche Claw is one of those that, again, it kind of sounds like a fantasy when you're being sold it at the counter. It's like, this is the iconic Touche Claw. One is sold every second of life, blah, 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 blah. You can put it on top of your foundation. It'll brighten. It looks natural. This is how you get like that French girl glow. And you're just like, and like you feel like you need it. And then you go home and you're like, it's like I just put lotion on my face, like nothing, right? I also really hate saying it, but Benefit, their concealers are not my favorite. They slide around, there's not enough grip, and they're way too sticky, thick, and shiny. My trainer, Rebecca, oh my God, how did this happen to you? Like she literally came over and she was like, hey, I went and I bought the Benefit concealer and it creases on me. And I'm like, I'm sorry, do you not have my phone number? I'm calling you out, Rebecca. I took her to the studio and I was like, we're gonna go on a concealer tour and like, you can try this, 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 this. Everyone's always so surprised. They're like, no, this is the best. I was told it was the best. Do a dig. And also when you're swatching concealers in the store, check out the finish. Like put it on the back of your hand. You're checking for color, but you're also checking on how easily it's sinking into the skin. Is it exaggerating lines on your hand is a good check. Or you can put it like on your wrist right here and kind of move around and see how easily it slips into the cracks right here. Also, look at how shiny it is. Is it very sticky? Is it very luminous? Like, what's the finish? What are you after? So there are ways to figure it out so that you get what you want when you leave the store beyond someone telling you this is the best. The By Terry $69 concealer. Ew. I'm sorry, By Terry. I love a lot of your stuff. That concealer is like water that smells like rose baby powder, and it doesn't really do a lot. And a lot of people love it. My mom loves it. She's like, you're wrong, Tati. You're wrong. I love roses. Oh, you know what I didn't mention because it wasn't in front of me? The Giorgio Armani Master Correctors with that teeny tiny precise applicator. So phenomenal, so good. One that I'm kind of so about that I didn't include in like showing you guys that I think I'm gonna let go of is the Fenty Concealer. I used it a few more times and it kind of had a shift. It's not that it's terrible, it's that it's not competing with the other things that I like love. I am going to be trying more and more in the near future, so I will be letting you guys know of the newer stuff, what the roundup is. So thumbs this video up if you want that sooner than later. There you have it, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this. I know it was a lot of just like very intense information and it wasn't like a fun, yay, wow, video. But like this is the stuff that game changes your routine when you narrow it down and you find what works for you. So I hope this helps. And if you enjoyed it, please go ahead and give the video a thumbs up, subscribe, ring the bell, throw some glitter, conceal a dark circle, and go and have a good one, you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I will see you all in my next video. Mwah.